Good evening and welcome to UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon. Kyomugisha will take a look at our top stories of the day. In UBC News Tonight, Makerere University hosting World Health Summit. Northern Uganda embraces coffee farming. In more news to come, Sinjiro banana farmers want a banana factory. And lastly, it is possible to recover from COVID-19. Good evening once again. My name is Sharon. Kyomugisha. In our top stories of the day, government, in partnership with Makerere University, has held a World Health Summit Regional Meeting 2021. Now, President Yoweri Museveni officiated the opening of the World Health Summit Regional Meetings organized by M8 Alliance partner Makerere University that brought together experts from around the world and especially many African countries to discuss the core issue, the COVID-19 pandemic, from an African perspective. President Museveni asked Africans in general and Ugandans to develop a homemade vaccine and stop depending on outsiders. The president criticized scientists for sitting back as others elsewhere are advancing. He appealed for the use of indigenous knowledge to advance African health needs. Enjoy.
We must develop, and we are developing with our funding, Uganda government funding, a pathogenic industry. The only little issue I would like to ask from our German friends and other friends, if they want to help, are sometimes the raw materials for this vaccine. Because of the economies of scale, sometimes it is not economic to produce every raw material, every input. Please, if you really want to help Africa, get us those raw materials. We shall pay. I don't want any help from anybody. I will pay.
Your Excellencies, in closing, let me leave you with 3 priority areas. First is vaccine equity. And that means sharing vaccines now and also investing in local production. If countries immediately share doses with COVAX and if manufacturers prioritize COVAX orders, we can vaccinate at least 10% of the population of every country by September and at least 40% by the end of the year. Dose sharing must happen immediately to fill an urgent supply gap. We need an additional 250 million doses by September. And with the 100 million just in June and July. Vaccine equity is the best way to control the pandemic and reboot the global economy.
Owing to its persistence, the pandemic now poses significant threats to the gains made in as far as improving health and socio-economic development, largely due to prioritization of response efforts at the expense of pre-existing health challenges. Thankfully, through the guidelines developed by the government, we have been able to slow down the spread of the virus while ensuring that essential services and sectors continue uninterrupted.
It is with this hope and assurance that on behalf of the government of Uganda, we are thankful to Makerere University for the exemplary leadership in searching for solutions to the health challenges. Therefore, we in the Ministry of Education and Sports here in Uganda, we see this regional meeting as a demonstration of commitment from each participant to fulfilling Makerere University's 3rd strategic pillar of knowledge transfer, partnership, and networking.
It is now done, and there's an official working document, and now we're in partnership. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dropping out of school can be discouraging to any ambitious person, but for Alfred Ojok, it was a blessing in disguise. On failing to raise tuition to join university, he opted for coffee farming thanks to support from Operation Wealth Creation.
It is love in the air for this recently wedded and expectant youthful couple from Nwoya district in northern Uganda. It is a milestone reached as a result of a venture that most young people tend to underlook: farming. 27-year-old Alfred Ojok won the love and trust of his 25-year-old wife, Flavia Ojok, when he proved his ability to work.
It has passed 5 months, and till now we are married. He's a hard-working man. That's why I chosen him.
It is a hard work that resulted from his inability to join university over financial constraints. Other than being a discouraging factor, it turned out a motivation for him to venture into farming.
Then I started to see what kind of farming can I do as a youth which can bring money in my hand. So I realized coffee is good. That's how I started to get involved in coffee farming.
Made possible from his sugarcane venture, from which he had earlier on earned 400,000 shillings, Ojok started on 2 acres of land. He has since expanded his coffee farming endeavor with support from Operation Wealth Creation.
We had a nursery operator by then near us, the late pastor. Unfortunately, died last year. He is also our role model farmer. He's doing very well in coffee in this area. So I went to him with my brother. We asked him, how do we get these coffee seedlings? We have no money. How do you give to people? Then he told us that we are giving free of charge to any willing person and Operations Wealth Creation.
Others could get seeds like maize seeds. They wash, dry it, take to the grinding mill just to eat it like that. Others could get bean seeds, wash, and then they cook like that. So it took us time to start spotting such serious people like this one here.
Such boost fetched him 800,000 shillings in the first season, 6 million in the second and third seasons combined, and 8 million shillings last year. This kind of success is what has since made him reach this conclusion.
This propaganda that coffee doesn't do well in northern Uganda is getting out of the mind of people. That's one thing, and I hope my family will study, and I will have the kind who never shed a tears as I did of education.
To the happiness of his aging father and youthful wife, both have a word for young people.
But those girls, they are lazy. I advise them to come in our farm and see how we get money. Then I think they will turn to choose farming.
If they can be taken for a study tours where they will have to learn a lot, because when you are taken to a study tours, you come back and learn a lot of things.
Bit by bit and process by process, Ojok may have registered some success, but something is still wanting, including value addition appliances.
So if we can increase or add values on them, we remove the outer cover and we sell at a good price, then that would also be one of the ways that we shall increase on our financing.
However, these setbacks could soon be history if a recent meeting between Operation Wealth Creation and Uganda Development Bank is anything to go by.
Those who are doing agriculture, like him, maybe wants a machine like for irrigation. Maybe wants a machine for value addition. Yeah? So he can apply for such a loan. He makes his business proposal well. He applies for such a loan and is granted.
Dropping out of school may have been a challenge, but was a blessing in disguise, according to a joke. Whereas he still harbors the passion to join university, he vows to expand further his farming enterprise. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Indeed, many can actually borrow a leaf from what he has done. Now, following the drastic fluctuation of prices in banana sales, Ankole sub-region farmers have questioned the relevance of the banana factory in Bushenyi, which majority claim that it has since become a shadow of itself. A bunch of matoke is currently at between 1,000 to 3,000 Ugandan shillings, depending on the size. According to the farmers, this price can't match their cost of production, requesting government to establish yet another banana processing factory in either Sinjiro or Mbara so that they can start adding value to their bananas.
Banana growing remains one of the major economic ventures that majority of farmers in Ankole sub-region depend on. This venture has since hit a dead end as a result of continuous drop in prices of farm products. Currently, a good bunch of bananas costs between 1,000 to 3,000 shillings, which the farmers claim cannot enable them break even.
The bunch of matoke in Sinjo right now, you get it at 1,000 or 2,000. To get a bunch of matoke at 2,000, it must be very big. And if it is of medium, it is at 1,500.
During the peak season, a bunch of bananas in Isingiro and the neighboring districts would cost between 10,000 to 25,000 shillings. But with the poor roads and the COVID-19 lockdown, the situation has worsened, leaving farmers stranded.
Which puts a matoke farmer at a big disadvantage. That they are not only very low but cheap, but they don't even have who to buy those cheap matoke. And yet in other areas, you see people are crying of food.
Years back, government established a banana factory in Bushenyi to add value to matoke, but 15 years down the road, it has not shown any relevancy to the farmers.
But that factory, because it has not taken off to full operation capacity, we as the community around Western region who are supposed to benefit are not yet benefiting anything from it.
And for that, it requires investment. Until now, we have not had strategic investment in farmers' productivity in the banana growing sector.
However, the executive director of the Bushenyi-based Presidential Initiative on Banana Industry Development, PIBID, Dr. Reverend Florence Muranga, says they need about 33 billion shillings to invest in the factory in order to start commercial production.
Required from government to give us a seed grant of 33 billion to do the seed inputs to that horizon that we are looking at, to do the commercial, first step of commercialization.
Whereas the management of the Presidential Initiative on Banana Industry Development, PIBID, thinks the provision of the 33 billion shillings would allow them kickstart production, farmers want government to establish a farmer-managed banana processing factory in either Isingiro or Mbara district.
Sinjiro has become a very serious hub of banana production. Probably there needs to be a bit of other initiatives between Mbarara and Sinjiro, since the other one is in Bushenyi.
Even though that factory has failed to take off from Bushenyi, we also need another one in places like Sinjiro.
So that if they are innovating something different, this way we can also be innovating matoke bread, for instance, for our own consumption as Ugandans.
Banana farmers are also being encouraged to form cooperatives through which government can train and equip them with relevant skills.
Some interstate bus operators have been forced to turn their passenger buses into cargo to keep themselves in business. This follows a recent presidential address that banned all public transport for 42 days.
In order to remain economically relevant, some bus owners have quickly converted their bus into cargo conveyors. This follows a recent ban on all public transport facilities as a measure to stop the spread of COVID-19.
You see, this system of cargo we came with it of recently when the lockdown came in. This was a normal bus, even you can see the windows are still just intact. we tried at least we could make cargo so that life can keep on moving, but unfortunately all the arcades are being locked. Other arcades doors are being walled up, so there's no way you can get luggages when the arcades are closed. So that's why the business again, there's nothing we are doing in fact, because most of the goods which we take to Kenya, they come from these arcades along Chikuo, but unfortunately they are all being closed, so there's no way you can get luggage. So that is the situation we are facing at the moment.
Hussein Majid, the manager of Crown Bus Limited, says even then, cargo is limited and it takes long time to fill this 15-ton cargo bus.
The idea of changing buses into cargo just came of recently when the president made a speech that only cargo trucks, cargo vans are the ones allowed to operate. And since these vehicles have PSV, we have paid for them for a whole year. You know, we pay income tax before the vehicle operating. So we looked at least we should come up with a cargo system whereby it can help to reduce on some costs like rent, workers. So, but the idea, unfortunately, it didn't work out because the Kampala arcades and shops are being locked also. There's no way. So in fact, it's again a double loss to us.
Bus operators note that even when cargo trucks were left to operate, shopping stores like arcades where they used to get cargo are closed, and this has posed a significant challenge.
The luggage that you're seeing here, but then before the pandemic time, it's a luggage that I'll collect within a short time of time. So nowadays, this is a week that I've collected this. So it's a kind of challenge to us when the shops are closed.
Batugala ne tusizigazaawo gundi y'okubanga tutambuza ebintu by'abantu, naye era challenge gye tulina tetufuna mirimu olw'ensonga nti amaduuka galina otuwa ebintu magale wakiriko bagule zisitowa abantu gye basobola okujja ebintu ne bitutuukako, kubanga waliyo bakasitoma abasindika ssente ne tubagulira ebintu. Naye kati bano betuwa abatuwa ebintu ne tubagamba nti nkusindikira ssente oyina ebintu, agamba ne sitowa nzigale bazigala n'amaduuka magale, kwegamba ne tufuna obuzibu bwetutyo nti entambuza y'ebintu ate ng'omulimu ogwo pulezidenti yagulekawo nagwo gutambula bubi.
The manager Simba Coach Limited, Abubakar Ali, says the company has since laid off some of its workers due to economic hardships.
Almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks here when there's no cargo. The owner just fueled back. He goes back to Nairobi and then look for another luggage to bring. And he reduced the staff because some of the staff went home. There's no money to pay them. So we suffer a lot. Maybe the government can ease the lockdown since they have seen that the pandemic has reduced, and at least they allowed the stores or the market people to work, so that at least we can get those luggage to carry to Nairobi.
They say creativity is necessary for survival, and it is that creativity that has compelled these interstate bus operators to redesign this passenger service bus vehicle into a bus cargo. However, their celebrations were short-lived after the lockdown that nearly closed all the arcades, and then that means they cannot have access to cargo which they can transfer or transport to different countries like Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And that is their only plea to the government, is to reconsider reopening the arcades so that they can have access to cargo which can therefore be transported to the outside country. Sadam Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Kampala and Wakiso district are top on the list of local governments with high COVID-19 incidences. A number of families have either lost a person or are nursing the impact of the pandemic, whose end does not seem to be anywhere near. Details follow.
Uganda continues to register a spike in COVID-19 infection and subsequently occasional death. However, daily recoveries are not only relieving the health system, but rather giving a positive hope to those still in the struggle.
I was really new that this flu is different.
The flu of COVID-19, it is terrible and it has a very far different from other flu. On that day, I went to test hoping. Today, if they got me COVID-19 positive, I'm not surprised.
In the Banka village, Nakawa division, a suburb of Kampala, led by the names of Doris Apio, working at NITA Uganda, is now recovering from the COVID-19 infection and stigma.
The following day, result came and they said, "Madam, you are positive." I said, "It's okay. No problem." I just smiled. But on that day, I was really very weak. Joint pain, low energy, difficulty in breathing.
At only 34 years old, Apio never looked back after doctors confirmed to her that she was COVID-19 positive.
The more you begin to steam yourself when you cover yourself, I feel my nose as if there's a stone coming out. Once it comes out, the pain will go up to the brain. Then I say, oh, okay, Kume Corona is you. Kale, we shall see. Then I tell her, boil again, turmeric. That very same thing, but add on turmeric and lemon without sugar. She boiled 2 cups. I take immediately. Take when it is hot. Immediately I take. After taking, I begin to dissolve again another sweating after sweating of steaming. I begin to feel myself as if there is cold hair moving.
Having spent indoors over 2 weeks, Doris is steadily recovering. Since 2nd June this month this year, when Doris Apio, who is working at NITA Uganda, realized that she is COVID-19 positive, she came back at home, and it is in this residence where she's trying to make life go on.
Sometimes you close your mouth, you breathe with the nose. Even if your nose is blocked, try to force to breathe when you are in steaming water. The more you force yourself to breathe, this vapor of water will open up your nose.
The community is now taking lessons from Doris Apio's positive journey.
Yes, there is a lesson we are learning. The lesson I've learned is that when somebody is COVID-19, we don't need to isolate away, or we have to let her be on her own because she has COVID. Because she had it, I came from work, she was really down, and I came in to help her. And she told me, you also need to do the procedures I'm doing, steam yourself.
The chairman, LC1, we are in a very big difficulties. One, government did not facilitate us by at least even giving us other equipment, or maybe because people run to you when they get a suspect of a corona victim, they have to run to the LOC, and LOC has no equipment to protect themselves going to that a problem.
This and other COVID-19 survivors' stories gives hope that it is possible to overcome COVID-19 because it is avoidable, manageable and curable. Robert Onyango, UBC.
Thank you so much, Robert Onyango. Now, the General Secretary, Indian Association of Uganda, Wahid Ahmed, has urged the Indian community to Uganda to take the vaccination of COVID-19 seriously. This follows allegations of some Indians distancing themselves from the vaccination exercise on allegations of being for nationals.
Indians living in Uganda have been urged to take the vaccination exercise against COVID-19 seriously because the pandemic is deadly and life-threatening. The General Secretary, Indian Association of Uganda, Wahid Ahmed, sounded the warning following allegations of some Indians living in Uganda shunning vaccination.
There is still a lot we are learning about COVID-19 vaccines, and it is constantly reviewing evidence and updating guidance. We don't know how long protection lasts for those who are vaccinated. What we do know is that COVID-19 has caused very serious illness and death for a lot of people. If you get vaccinated, if you get COVID-19, you are also risk giving it to loved ones who may get very sick.
Currently, hospitals are full with patients of coronavirus, with its medication seemingly expensive, with a struggle of oxygen cylinders.
Let me inform all the community, COVID-19 vaccines are safe. COVID-19 vaccines were developed using science that has been around for decades. COVID-19 vaccines are not experimental. They went through all the required stages of clinical trials. Extensive testing and monitoring have shown that these vaccines are safe and effective.
Wahid Ahmed says the vaccination is meant to protect the community from the virus and spreading to other persons.
People are not considered fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. You should keep using all the tools available to protect yourself and others until you are fully vaccinated.
For the Indians in the business sector, they have been urged to take caution because the gravity of the situation is high. Wahid gave some tips to the Indian business sector.
1. Communicate transparently with your customers. 2. Maintain healthy relationships with contracted parties and suppliers. Managing employees and related issues. Instead of layoff, cut the salaries for higher paid employees and arrange a survival plan and agree with them once the economy is back normal will be refunded. Keep your team always engaged.
COVID-19 has caused various illnesses in Uganda, with many losing lives. So that Kai, UBC.
A man in Padea district has asked government to compensate him for the loss of 90 heads of cattle allegedly slaughtered on orders of the Acholi paramount chief. Geoffrey Rabshaija says the paramount chief in 2017 confiscated the cattle over alleged trespass. Now Geoffrey Rabshaija says he has tried to seek justice but all in vain. He says this has made him to petition the office of the president to intervene in the matter. Rabshaija says his cattle were eaten by residents of Tebeo village, Wirabo parish and others were injured. The LC3 of Angara sub-county Lazaro Obo Kidega says local authorities in the area have received complaints, hence evacuating the herdsmen.
ente zange katase muranki ente kyenda bakirya omukama yaragira atowa order na chairman LC5 na kansara na ba chief sub count na LC3 ente bazirya so abayita batuzi bamaborezinga abatsigazi ente bazirya zone so nishaba tunaza polisi na haba bomushango tubanyamba nazo mukoti tunatunga buyambi mbweni nishaba government na president bayimike banyamba abantu abatinko babasa tinyine sente zo koza.
Bad-hearted people have slashed an acre of eucalyptus trees belonging to our one James Namagoye in Nachifuma Town Council, Mukono district. This comes at a time when Ugandans are being encouraged to grow trees as a climate change measure. Details for that.
A man whose acre of trees was slashed in Nachifuma Town Council, Mukono district, is in tears for the big loss incurred. James Namagoye, the owner of the trees, alleges that a number of injustices have been inflicted on them and this issue has been registered in the resident district commissioner's office.
Twebuuza omukulembeze w'eggwanga akyogera lunye okugoba abantu abagobaganya abantu ku bibanja byabwe. Ffe tuli babibanja abatagamba nti batukayanira ttaka. N'olwekyo bwemanga ntege bwobanga oli gwogamba olina nnyini ttaka nze nga ndi wa kibanja ensonga zino lwaki gwe ow'ekibanja ojja n'otugunyanza ow'ettaka n'otugunyanza ow'ekibanja okunnemesa ebyenkola. Nteeka ku pulojekiti yange eno n'olusuku lwange emmere gye nteekamu eyandibadde empeereza z'amammere abantu abaana bange n'abazuku gye balya bagijja ne bagitema kati bugenza okukeera ku makya nga kati tusobola kukola eki bamusaayi.
Mukono, the LC chairperson, Nachifuma Town Council, Ladson Muchibi, says the 400-acre contested land has 4 villages of Kabulo, Makukuba and Kabawala respectively.
Ekikolwa kya butemu nnyo ekisukkiridde okugamba nti kino kibikkirirwa. Ekikola kino ku muntu abadde yeteekerateekera okufunamu kikutuzabuza amabega n'okulembeze w'eggwanga bw'onabanga owulira obanga olabye egundi eno mbadde se nkusaba abantu bana abakoledde kwa kino bonoona gavumenti yo bonoona ggwe.
Nze Mukibi Radisson.
However, Ladson Mukibi says they are living in fear following the intimidation by police whom they accuse of mistreating tenants.
Nga z'ettaka lino zitususseeko ffe ng'abakulembeze b'ekyalo zino era tuli mu bweraliikirivu nnyo kubanga naffe tufuna okutiisibwatiisibwa ng'abakulembeze kuba ettaka lino lizingiramu ekyalo nkulagirire Kabaala, Kaabulo ne Makukuba. Naye abatuuze bafunye okweraliikira kw'amaanyi olw'abatujju. Waliwo ekibinja ky'abatujju ekijja ne kyonoona ebintu byabwe.
Tenants allege that they have been paying ground rent to Uganda Land Board and are dismayed by the actions of the alleged landlords. The land in contention is estimated to be 400 acres with over 600 families.
UBC News Tonight will take a short commercial break and we'll be back with business stories.
As the financial year 2020-2021 draws to an end, URA has put measures in place to facilitate taxpayers to file their returns and pay taxes within the set deadline. All our offices across the country and the URA Contact Center shall remain open to provide extra support to our esteemed taxpayers. Additionally, we have extended our contact center service hours from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays and public holidays. In light of the COVID-19 risks, we encourage taxpayers to reach us through our improved contact center and other online platforms instead of making physical visits to our offices. For online support, please reach us through our toll-free lines 0800 117 000 or 0800 217 000. Email services@ura.go.ug. Website ura.go.ug. Social media, Facebook, URA page, Twitter @URA Uganda. URA Customs Help Tool, help.ura.go.ug/login. URA appreciates all taxpayers who have duly fulfilled their obligations. Stay safe and let us all observe the standard operating procedures to prevent further spread of the COVID-19 virus. Stay safe as we develop Uganda together.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Century Points when you deposit, send, and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go. MTN.
COVID-19 chijja kugwa. If we get vaccinated now, observe social distancing, wear a mask properly, sanitize or wash our hands with soap and water regularly. Together we can defeat this enemy.
Fellow Ugandans, you know that the current COVID-19 period is a trying time in our lives. However, we still have another threat that has been with us for a long time, and it is called neglected tropical diseases, also known as NTDs. NTDs include bilharzia and worms that cause swollen stomachs. Trachoma causes blindness, and elephantiasis causes the swelling of legs. These diseases are affecting millions globally, and yet they can be prevented by regular hand washing with soap and clean running water, regular washing of the face with a soap and clean running water, keeping dirty hands away from your eyes, always using pit latrines and discouraging open defecation in your community to avoid flies that carry germs, reporting to the health facility early when feeling unwell. Remember to stay safe and protect yourself. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from Ascend Project.
Introducing to you the Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies, Mbarara University of Science and Technology. We run academic programs designed to create an interface between academics, industry, and the community. We aim at offering hands-on learning experience and skills that suit continuous evolving societal needs. Join the Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies today for undergraduate training in Bachelor of Science in Planning and Community Development, Bachelor of Science in Gender and Applied Women Health, and Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Livelihoods and Farm Production. For postgraduate programs, we offer Master of Arts in Planning and Governance, Master of Arts in Development Studies, Master of Arts in Peace and Conflict Studies, Postgraduate Diploma in Criminology, and PhD in Development Studies. For inquiries, please contact us through our email dean.fis@mass.ac.ug or admissions@mass.ac.ug, or you can call the Dean directly on 0782827777 or 0701778699. Electronic applications are also available on our website, applications.mass.ac.ug. Succeed we must.
In efforts to improve quality assurance and Uganda's competitiveness as a tourist destination, Uganda Tourism Board is set to undertake a nationwide grading and classification exercise of hotel and accommodation facilities. As a member of the East African community, Uganda subscribes to the East African Grading and Classification Criteria, a system denoted by stars ranging from 1 to 5. The grading and classification exercise will be crowned by the awarding of star ratings to facilities found compliant to the EAC minimum standards. This is therefore a call to all accommodation and facility owners and managers to register and get licensed by UTB as a requirement and get ready for participation. For more information, visit www.utb.go.ug or email qualityassurance@utb.go.ug for details. Uganda Tourism Board, promoting tourism together.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. Now, all is not well with banana farmers and dealers following a sudden fall in prices. Ntungamo District Matoke traders are saying that their main source of income has been affected, with the banana fetching a mere 1,000 shillings down from over 10,000. Details follow.
Until the lockdown, farmers were happily trading in their bananas without any complaint. However, as soon as the national lockdown came into effect, banana prices plummeted. A senior farmer in Kyabahinda Sale, Ntungamo District, James Namara, says a bunch of matoke, which was previously sold at 20,000 shillings, now goes for less than 3,000 shillings, which has affected their incomes.
In the market, we used to say a big bunch at 25,000, but a big bunch now is 6,000. A medium bunch we used to go to buy for 15,000 to 10,000, but now it is only 3,000, 2,000. So this is a very big challenge. As farmers, we shall not maintain the farms.
This senior farmer in Ntungamo District, who is among those affected by the price nosedive, says agriculture is no longer profitable ever since the lockdown was announced.
Say bananas, though at a lower price. But now the customers, the buyers are few. Some have gone away from that trade because they also fear, like the human beings, going into congested markets. It's my life matters most.
James Namara is one of the best farmers in Ntungamo district who says that they are now concerned about how to maintain their plantations. Farmers want government's intervention into this fall in banana prices. Kashamotwe Sirili, one of the matoke traders, hopes the situation will soon change. Ntungamo is one of the areas in the country most affected by the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic because of being very close to the border with Rwanda and Tanzania.
In efforts to improve quality assurance and Uganda's competitiveness as a tourist destination, Uganda Tourism Board is set to undertake a nationwide grading and classification exercise of hotel and accommodation facilities. As a member of the East African community, Uganda subscribes to the East African Grading and Classification Criteria, a system denoted by stars ranging from 1 to 5. The grading and classification exercise will be crowned by the awarding of star ratings to facilities found compliant to the EAC minimum standards. This is therefore a call to all accommodation and facility owners and managers to register and get licensed by UTB as a requirement and get ready for participation. For more information, visit www.utb.go.ug or email qualityassurance@utb.go.ug for details. Uganda Tourism Board, promoting tourism together.
What does it mean to be closer together? It's taking the last bus home for a surprise visit. Closer together is strangers finding a connection. It's bringing home something much more than a box. It's the warmth of home, or the beginning of something new. There's magic in sharing the things that we learn, because it's those things that bring us close together.
Welcome back. Now in our international stories, under the leadership of the Communist Party of China, the country has achieved significant development benefiting not only its own people but also the entire world, said Mbelwa Kairuki. Tanzanian ambassador to China now this year marks the 100th anniversary of the founding of the CPC, and during an interview with China Global Television Network, Kairuki spoke highly of the CPC's efforts in leading the construction of China. Meanwhile, Kairuki said that China's development has brought opportunities to other countries. He also confirmed the CPC's achievement in reforming and promoting innovation. About 500,000 doses of China's Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine have arrived in Zimbabwe, which will help the southern African country bolster its vaccination drive. The fresh consignment will shore up dwindling stocks, which led to some people being turned away from vaccination centers that had run out of where second doses had been getting priority. The jabs will provide much-needed protection against a renewed rise in infections, hospitals admissions, and deaths as a third wave of the pandemic gains momentum. Localized lockdowns have been imposed in 12 hit areas across 3 provinces. While vaccination remains voluntary, some groups may soon be compelled to get their shots. Additional vaccines have been procured and are expected in the coming weeks. Now, by June 25th, more than 1.2 million people have received at least one of their jabs. The country plans to inoculate about 10 million people to achieve herd immunity. Many areas of Greece's Peloponnese and Attica regions, where the capital Athens is located, saw the thermometer go over 40 degrees Celsius as a warm air mass from North Africa swept the country for 5 days in a row by Saturday. The Meteorological Department of Greece has issued 3 alerts for high temperatures since June 21st and urged elderly people, children and those with underlying diseases to avoid direct sunlight between 11 and 18 and wear lightweight summer clothes, sunglasses and sun hats. The heatwave has also brought sand and dust from North Africa to the Attica region. Mount Parintha, the highest peak in western Athens with over 1,000 meters, could barely be seen due to the sandy and dusty weather. According to the Greek meteorological experts, the country has witnessed 4 hot days in June since 2007 as a result of global warming. The weather is expected to cool down on Monday, with temperatures decreasing by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, said experts. In sports news, the naming ceremony of the World University Game Packs and the launch of the Summertime Fitness for All programs were held on Saturday in Chengdu, the host city of the 31st Summer Universiade in southwest China's Sichuan province. Saturday marks the 1-year countdown of the postponed games, which will be held from June 26th to July 7th, 2022. The World University Games Packs, which hosts major venues for the games, was unveiled at the event, and the pack is designed for various sports as part of the city's efforts to promote the Fitness for All program. Leon Eder, acting president of the International University Sports Federation, addressed the naming ceremony of the pack, speaking highly of Chengdu's preparation work for the games and extending good wishes for the smooth running of the event next year. Well, thank you so much for watching UBC News tonight. Have a lovely night and a great week ahead of you. From the team and I, good night. My name is Sharon.